All right, can you guys hear me now? Can you guys hear me now? Mic check 1 2 1 2. Oh my god, I've been talking and nobody could have heard me. This is Oh my gosh, it's all good. Okay, all clear. Everybody can hear me now. Let's go back to the beginning because nobody heard me. It's all good. Okay, so in the beginning, I was talking about if you guys are tuning in, this is for all the women who are dating out here. You know, you guys are going on dates, you guys are in, people got you in the DMs, and you're just dating, right? This is general advice based on why men love bitches. And today we are on chapter 3 discussion. So if you guys tuned into chapter 1, chapter 2, this is chapter 3. I'm doing this for all the girlies, especially if you're out there, you're dating. And even if you're more seasoned, it's always good to hear some new information. And now we are on chapter 3, and we're talking about why men love bitches. And in this chapter, it's going to the candy store. And the name of this chapter is How to Make the Most of Your Feminine and Sexual Powers. So, all women have feminine and sexual powers, right? Whether you know it or not, right? You have feminine sexual powers. If you're a woman, you got a nice soft voice, your face is shaped more different, you got a nice soft skin for the most part. Even your bone structure is a little bit more different than the men. Even your throat, everything about you is more different than the men. You kind of have a ambience about you that's very different than men. So just know that you have the power in you. So take back your power, ladies. All right, so let's get into it. So and then here's this quote: "Sex is like a small business. You gotta watch over it." Funny. All right, so let's just get into it. So attraction principle number 21. This is according to the book, of course. If a man has to wait before he sleeps with a woman, he will not only perceive her as more beautiful, he will also take time to appreciate who she is. Dun 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 dun. So as we are learning now, do not sleep with these men on the first date, first month, 2 months. The longest you can wait, But let's we have to be honest. At some point, if you really like somebody and you're digging them, the chances are you might sleep with them a little sooner, because you're just feeling them. And this is just being honest from the human experience and not from the book and not from ego, talking about straight up experience, right? If you really like somebody and you guys are hitting it off, it might be 5 or 6 times out of 10, you might sleep with that person. But if you can hold off, say you gotta go, just enjoy the kissing and that's it. And then always wait to the next time so you can experience something a little bit more. All right, but back to it. Let's go back to the book. But we just want to make sure that we are put in the worthwhile categories. So normally when men are choosing women, they place them in 2 categories. You got the good time only, and then you got the worthwhile. So obviously we want to be the bitch in the book who is worthwhile. She's a woman who is a mystery. She's a woman that doesn't reveal too much about herself. She's a woman who changes it up. You know, she's almost like a cat. You guys ever watch how a cat, like, if you ever have a cat, right? Most of these cats want to go out, then they want to come in, and they want to just do whatever they want, right? You can't make the cat do what it wants. You can't tell the cat to come here. The cat has to come to you when it wants to. The cat has his own nap time. The cat hunts and does what he wants, and that's how we gotta be. So May says the goal is to get different results by changing the normal pattern, no sex. Obviously, yes. Yes, May. That's the goal. But I was just talking, in general. Okay, so let's get back to it. I didn't even know nobody could have heard me. So, all right. So now we're gonna go into the two categories. So according to the book, she has she has examples of a good time only woman, and then the worthwhile woman, right? So the good time only woman, she talks a lot about sex on the first date or in the first phone conversation, which is too soon. You should be talking about like what you like to do and what's your favorite color and where you live at and what you do for fun. Right? And then the worthwhile woman, which is the bitch in the book, she flirts more subtly and she uses her body language to convey her sensuality. So when she does body language, I mean, she looks nice but not too revealing. She touches him on the shoulder, you know. She like blows kisses. She just looks cute, looks adorable. Alright. And then you have the good time only woman. She wears an outfit that is very short, showing her legs, cleavage, back. Her sexuality is overstated. She follows the pattern of what he sees all the time. And I just wanted to get into that because I have this thumbnail right here. And on this thumbnail, you see like all of these beautiful women on the thumbnail. They're all beautiful, but they're all dressed in a particular fashion, right? The women on the left, they are wearing very tight and revealing clothes. They're just showing it all. They just showing it everywhere, right? Not only that, they look like they're just doing too much, right? I don't know what it is. They look like they're like 13-year-old girls trying to be hookers in a way. Like so on the left hand side, these women are just showing everything. They're not leaving anything to the imagination, or they're not dressing with class. They're not dressing with like somebody that you would take to like a five-star restaurant, or somebody that you would take to like, oh, let's go to I don't know, let's go to like a poetry club or poetry night, and then let's go out and eat this really nice restaurant at this really nice restaurant, and then let's go take a walk through like a flower garden. They don't look like the type of woman that would want something like that, you know? So on the left hand side, you will see that these women are look more ratchet. So if you want to look at the way you're dressed, you have to ask yourself, do I look like, no offense to the Instagram models, but do I look like an Instagram model? Like, some Instagram models do look nice, but do I look like somebody who looks ratchet, like over fattish, that's showing too much? We gotta be upfront with ourselves and ask ourselves that question. What kind of what are we trying to attract in our lives? What kind of message are we trying to portray based on how we are dressed? So that right there will save your life in so many ways, because based on how you dress is the type of people that will approach you and feel comfortable approaching you based on the way you are dressed. Yes. I'm sorry, but it's true. Right? And then on the right hand side, right? Yes, modesty is sexy to a lot of men. On the right hand side, these women, they dress pretty sexy. I mean, they got it going on, but it's classy. It has a little bit of taste. They got color. It's kind of like good sensuality. Like the shirts are not revealing too much, but you can still see their shape, don't get it twisted. And they got like the nice little color, and their hair looks nice. They got it going on. I give it to them. And they got their heels. I mean, that's how you want to dress, with ambiance. You want to look sensual. When they look at you, they got to be like, yeah, she look like I need to put some effort in to get her. You want to look like you about that. Like you not on some bullshit. You want you a good, solid, real man, and that's what you're trying to obtain. You're not trying to get these little boys. Because on the left hand side is the little boys. On the right hand side is the grown men. And ladies, who are we trying to attract? The grown men. All right. So exactly. So let's get back to it. So the bitch, she shows a physical attribute. She wears something that's slightly sheer. Her sexuality seems like it's part of who she is, and it doesn't seem forced. Okay, there we go. The good time woman, she compliments him and hangs all over him. Yeah, she's just doing too much. And then you got the bitch, right? She keeps him interested by giving him compliments when he's hoping to have sex. So he feels he's in the game. That is funny. And then you have the good time woman. She just does too much, right? She's wearing sexy lingerie and she leaves nothing to the imagination. And then you have the bitch. She hangs the same nightie at the back of her door. So she shows that she can dress sexy. She shows him the clothes, but he doesn't get to see it. So he has to imagine. And then the good time woman on the second date, she invites him in. He promised they will just cuddle. They end up sleeping together, but she ends up feeling insecure about it. And he has had the whole candy store. So basically, if you want to have sex with somebody, don't feel pressured, and yeah, you shouldn't feel insecure about it. You should just, you did it, you got yours off, and it's okay. That's the biggest thing there. The worthwhile woman, they kiss passionately at the door. She said she'll love to invite him in, but she controls her own urges and tells him good night on the porch. Okay, ladies, so a nice passionate kiss and then cut it short. And then with the good time only woman, and I think this is a mind over matter thing because a lot of women they probably think after they have sex with a guy, he's not interested anymore. And sometimes your subconscious mind tries to play tricks on you and tries to show you that. But the good time woman, it says that the spark fizzles, and then the woman who's worthwhile, the spark doesn't fizzle, it ignites. A part of me agrees with it, yes, but another part of me thinks that like you gotta know you the shit. Like you gotta know that like you the shit. Like who gives a fuck whether he calling out? Like you still the shit. The fuck? That's how you gotta think. So yes, the book says that, but I feel like on a subconscious level, we choose how we feel and we choose how we want to feel. So just just be that bitch. That's it. All right. So we asked the question, how long should you wait to have sex? Obviously, as long as you can. If you could keep it going, because you gotta be honest, right? If you guys are having a good time and the vibe is good, the best way to avoid having sex is to cut it off. Sometimes it's good to set timers on your phone. When you go to a date, it should only be like 1 hour long. Then the second date, maybe an hour and a half. Third date, maybe 2 hours. And then you just start setting timers so you're not stuck thinking that, because if you spend a lot of time with that person, one thing might lead to another and you might end up sleeping with them. So I think time management is really good. Like you got to cut these dates short so that he gets to see you more and he has to put in more effort. All right. So obviously, you do not want to give up the candy store, right? It ensures that the man develops a habit of putting forth the effort so that you can be treated the way you want to be treated. So, in a way, we are training these men how to treat us and how we want to be treated. So, if you don't sleep with them and you tell him like, "Oh, I really like flowers," he ends up buying you flowers because he wants to sleep with you. You know that. But you're training him on how to treat you, on how to respond to you. You're you're basically training him on how you want to be treated. And not having sex right away is about playing your cards right so that the small things matter. And I will have to agree with that. Small things do matter. Those little 5-minute phone calls in the morning, those matter. Those phone calls at night matters. Those things make you, make you feel good. He calls you, you're always on his mind. He brings you flowers, he buys you lunch, he does all those things for you. you know those small things add up. There's a lot of women who are in their marriages 5-10 years, and a lot of them, they lose the spark, or they don't have those small little things going. But those small little things matter. So you're basically training him on how you want your relationship to go if you guys do decide to be exclusive. So just think of this as not having sex is the training phase. All right. So sex and the spark is not one and the same thing. So this is attraction principle number 22. All right. So if a man feels as though he has won you over the first sexually with his manliness, wit, or charm, he will place a higher value on you. So basically, you making these men use their mind, use their brain, come up with ideas. You making him basically work, right? So basically, he has to put in the work. So now he values you. And then just remember that men are possessive. He likes knowing that other men cannot easily get to where he is trying to go, you know? So you make him feel like he's like a superstar because he took all this work to try to attain you. And he knows that if a man tries to talk to you in his head, right, he has to do all of these things in order to get you. And he judges whether you make the rounds by one thing and one thing only, how quickly you give it up to him. So men, and this is my quote unquote thing. So men are insecure too, right? And that's what I wanted to say about that, right? If you sleep with him too soon, he starts to think, is she doing this with somebody else? Has she done this before? How many men has she slept with? They don't feel secure in that. So it is true. Men are insecure too. So, ladies, there you go. Right? Men are insecure too. He wants to feel like you only are sleeping with him, you are only flirtatious with him, you're only giving it up to him, right? I don't know, but that's the last thing you want to do is have him think that you do all of this with all these guys. That's the last thing that you want him to think. All right, attraction principle number 23. Before sex, a man is not thinking clearly and a woman is thinking clearly. So we have our brains before we have sex. After sex, it's reversed. The man is thinking clearly and the woman isn't. You ever hear the men say that they have that post nut clarity? So yeah. You ever heard about that post nut clarity? Like, as soon as he has sex with you and he ejaculated, all his minds and all his senses start working. And then he remembers that, oh, we can't be together because she because I don't know, our families we're not aligned together. We got different generations or something like that. They start remembering little things that you told them or little things that they observed. Now all those little intricate details come to their mind and they start to remember. Before you have sex, I swear, like, oh my god, before you have sex, he don't care. Whatever you do, you could be 5 grand or 30 grand in debt. He not even thinking about that. You could have, I don't know, you could be like You could tell him, listen, I only eat this every day. He don't care because he cares about having sex with you and the attraction is there. As soon as after you have sex, these men, they remember everything. They remember what you said about your ex. They remember what you ate. They remember your attitude. Like it's just unfucking believable. They start to remember everything, and you're sitting there like, why does that matter now? Why does this matter? Why does that matter? Let's see. Do I have time for a story time? Let's do a story time. It was this guy I dated, right? It was back during COVID. So it was like I think 2021, around that time frame of 2020. So tell me why I started dating this guy, right? And it was like 2 weeks in, we were texting and everything, and we hit it off really good, like on the phone, texting and everything. Like we hit it off really good. And we used to have really good conversations, and we used to be on the phone for hours. And then we had our first date, and I think it was during COVID, so we couldn't really go anywhere. So we went and we got food from Panera Bread, and I remember eating food in his car or whatnot. And then afterwards, we went home, just our own separate ways. And then, which we should have called it a night, but we didn't. We got on the phone and we just started like, texting like, dirty and nasty and very intrinsic details. Yeah, really, it was really interesting. So we just started texting each other back and forth, and then one thing led to another, and then we slept with each other. But he was still coming around, which is strange, right? We slept with each other, so but he would still call me, so I wasn't really thinking of anything like that. He would still call me and talk to me normally, right? And then I went to his house and whatever. And then I think I had left, went to New York for vacation for like a week or 2 weeks. And while I'm in New York on vacation, right? Tell me why it was during Valentine's Day. So I'm out there a week or 2 weeks. And I could say I messed up here too. So I'm on vacation for a week or 2 weeks. I'm with my best friend and we out there and we was like hanging. We was like, having fun. And we started talking to some other guys out there, and I don't know why, but I told him, yeah, I was like, yeah, my friend has some guys, and she brought them around, but I didn't do anything. We was just, just kicking it, like playing cards and stuff. That dude got so jealous. He got jealous, and then afterwards, it was during Valentine's Day, and then I told him, "Happy Valentine's Day," right? And this dude gonna say, "We are not on that level." And I was just like, what? We are not on that level. And that shit just baffled me. I'm like, how are we not on that level when we slept with each other? That makes no fucking sense. I was like, I'm still confused till this day about that. And all I said was, Happy Valentine's Day. Anyway, we don't talk to each other anymore because of his attitude. I think something else happened. He said something or did something, and I was just like, no. But anyway, that happened right there. So that goes to show you, if I probably should have never slept with him too soon. But we really did like each other. Like we really hit it off. I don't know. I'm kind of disappointed about that. Even though that happened a couple of years ago, I'm over it. But like, I think we probably could have been a couple, could have. But yeah. Anyway, we move on. Yeah, so that's what happened. That was my story time of why you should not sleep with these men right away. You should wait the 1, 2, 3 months rule. Or at least have that guy invest. Like, invest his time, his effort, and his money. Okay, so let's get back to it, right? So when sex happens at lightning speed, the man has achieved what he wanted. The reason he thinks more clearly after sex is that he relived and has already attained his goal. Meanwhile, the woman just started her to pursue her goal. She has unfinished business. So then she chases him and he runs. Doesn't that always happen, right? As soon as you after you sleep with him, all of a sudden you find yourself texting and calling him. Don't do it. We're learning all of these things of how not to fall in these pit holes. So, like it or not, in the beginning, you are negotiating the terms of your relationship. Listen up. You are negotiating the terms of your relationship in the beginning. If you strike a deal too soon, you give up all of your bargaining power. All of your bargaining power. So basically, you can't leverage, you can't bargain, you can't do anything after sex. So take your time when deciding whether a man is someone you want to deal with in the first place, and don't be just a notch on his belt, as we can see. Hopefully, we are done with the whole notch on your belt thing. I'm hoping so. I think after you get to the age of past 25, I don't even think stuff like that should matter. Okay, attraction principle number 24. Every man wants to have sex first, whether he wants a girlfriend or something he thinks about later. By not giving him what he wants up front, you become his girlfriend without him realizing it. So men like the game that women find maddening. So, okay. So men so it's the truth. Men like to chase. And if you give it to him too soon, then there's no play. Like, how is he gonna, like you go to the game to the Super Bowl, right? Everybody is all in these leagues. So you gotta move up to the second league. You gotta move up until finally you made it. All right. And then she interviewed a guy, right? And a guy in the book, right? And this is specifically what the guy said that she interviewed. So this book is based on the men in her life and basically the men she interviewed. So the guy said to her, quote unquote, right? If she gives it up too soon, we stop with the romance and we stop working at it. And truthfully, we would rather be working hard at it. We enjoy playing the game. And if it ends too soon, we're disappointed. We even struggle inside subconsciously. We know we want to get it, but we know we want the girl to make us wait. Otherwise, it's a one or two time thing, and then you move on. I didn't say it. The guy said it. All right, and here we go. The here we go. There are men who truly want to find a woman they can spend time with. However, the three-date rule is for men who have ruled out this option entirely and they just want to hit and run. If a man leaves because he didn't score by the third date, it's clear sign that he would have left after getting it anyway. Mm. So there you go. If somebody tells you they don't get any by the third date or it's been like so long and they haven't got any, you already know what they there for. All right, the nice girl is more likely to feel obligated, pressured, or manipulated to sleep with a man early on. She sleeps with him and then believes he will hook him with great sex as though she has to offer sexually is golden. The bitch understands that the sex only becomes golden when he doesn't get it right away. All right, so don't be misled by the fact that men want it quick and they are accustomed to having it easy. If given the option, most men will love to know how much it would take, the bottom line, the dollar figure, to get a woman in bed. It's almost as if there is an unspoken transaction between the guy and the nice girl in which is a bartered transaction take place. So he budgets how much he can spend and wants to know how much it will cost. And right, the bitch is smarter. She knows if he's not pursuing her, he will pursue someone else. So whatever his budget is, large or small, she makes sure it is spent on her and no one else. In her mind, she's the best investment he'll ever make. Ding ding. So let's do that. So if, as soon as you hear the 3-day rule, they don't even pay attention. Nobody's listening to that. And check this out. He will end up marrying the woman who doesn't play by his rules. She plays by her own. Then she has no problem allowing the words "see you later" to trip lightly off her tongue. He usually doesn't feel as if he got away with disrespecting her. Okay, attraction principle number 25. A man intuitively senses whether sexuality comes from a place of security or from a place of neediness. He knows when a woman is having sex to appease him. All right, attraction principle number 26. Bad habits are easier to form than good ones. Because good habits require conscious effort, waiting encourages this effort. All right, so when a woman makes him wait, he's romantic all the time. The dinners, the flowers keep on coming. Why? Because he formed the habit of treating her with respect before he got what he wanted. All right, so now let's get into how we can keep these men attracted or keep these men in the game without giving too much. Okay? So we don't want to be read saying that no. We don't want to go into the date stating that I'm not having sex. I said no. I'm a church girl. I have standards. Remember, we don't say any of that. As a bitch, we don't say nothing like that. We're sweet, we're kind, we play it off. We just don't say things like that, right? All right. So according, there's three signs, right? So red means no, green means go, and yellow means you're a tease, which will piss him off. Okay. So according to this, right, we want to be in between, right? So things that you should not do. So check this out. Just bear with me. I'm going to be reading like 2 pages out. So you guys are getting this live content. I don't know any other way to make it shorter. All right, attraction principle number 27. If you pull the sex plug at last minute, he'll label you as a tease. And you don't want to be a tease. All right, so in the beginning, try not to be alone at his place or yours, especially very late at night. Do things socially that require that you meet somewhere in public or have him pick you up and then go somewhere. Do fun things during the daylight hours. If you go biking, it will seem like a red light, but if you're both wrapped up in a blanket in front of a fireplace with a bottle of wine at midnight, he'll assume you're giving him the green light. And we're not giving no green lights over here. Give him kisses that are sexy and sensual, but do it while you're out where it is unlikely to last too long. Don't get him worked up when you're alone together while rolling on the floor, or on the bed, or on the couch. So basically, don't start kissing and deeply kissing, and then hands start moving, and then one thing leads to another, and you guys keep kissing. No, that's too much. But you can give sexy, sensual, and then stop. The longer the kiss, they get sexually turned on. The last thing we want to do is be a tease. All right, the first few times you go out, he may want to come to late at night or after your dates. If you think he's going to make a move, but you aren't quite ready, abort the mission at the door. If you live in an apartment building, say goodbye in the lobby. Thanks so much. Have a great time. Smile a lot, laugh at his jokes, and be good company. You want him to think of you as a friend as well as a lover. It's a great sign if he babbles on about himself. That means he's comfortable. He's talking about himself. Especially if he's nervous. If he likes you, he will want to open up. Flirt in moderation. Be careful of sexual joking because it's never really a joke. These men take it seriously. A lot of times, men will use humor to see where the parameters lie. Don't be a prude. You can laugh at the jokes and be playful, but don't stay on the subject of sex for a long time, or he will view it as a green light. Compliment him, let him know he's desirable to you. For example, lean close and smell his cologne when he gives you a hug, or tell him he looks gorgeous. This subtly confirms you chose to wait for reasons that have nothing to do with his desirability. Show that you are affectionate and loving. Hold hands, put your head on his shoulders so he feels manly. Rub his leg lightly while you are at the movies, but don't tease him. This means stay close to the knee, right? So rub him closer to the knee. Do not rub him close to his crotch area. Remember that. Do not look at his crotch area or stare at it too hard. Try not to get into heavy, like kissing in the car. Don't do that. Even if the guy with the new BMW who makes you wipe his feet before sitting on his leather seats won't hesitate to get some play in his car. That's why these guys buy these brand new cars for that. If it's late at night, don't say, okay, come in just for a minute. Don't ask him to come in to meet you, to meet your cat Cushy. Don't offer tea. Don't offer coffee. Don't show him your remodeled place. There's no such thing as just for a minute after midnight. Don't let on your pacing. Don't let on you are pacing him, even though you are. Don't ever tell him he'll be waiting at least a month. Don't do that. Don't indicate whether he's getting warm or try to give him a 3-day weather forecast for predicting when you'll be ready. Just don't create the opportunity for something to happen if you aren't ready to allow it to happen. Don't believe him when he says, well, just cuddle, even if you have known him for a long time and he's a perfect gentleman with extraordinary restraint. The objective is to not to tease him. Be affectionate in public is generally pretty safe because it can't go any further. And there you have it. We just broke down how not to give him sexual messages and what not to do. And obviously, bedroom clothes are bedroom clothes. So even if he sees you in your pajamas, that's still giving him a green light. So that's a no no. No bedroom clothes, no pajamas, no house clothes. Bedroom clothes are bedroom clothes, and these if they see bedroom clothes, they think it's good. We in there like swimwear. Okay. So one of the biggest mistakes that a nice girl makes is she competes with other women. She may ask him about another woman in the room. Is she pretty? Or she may be competing with whatever she thinks he fantasizes about. A model, a centerfold, a stripper, a porn star. It's often said that women doesn't, so just make sure you don't do that. And if he makes you feel insecure, let your insecurity be your guide. So if he's not making you feel secure, like he likes you, he enjoys your company, he wants you around, and he's making you feel like you're not good enough, then you know to cut him off. It's often said that a woman doesn't reach her sexual peak after she turns 30. It takes a lot of women until then to overcome their insecurity or the feeling that they have to compete with other women. Sex becomes better because she can tell him what she likes. She's more secure. She's more assertive. She can let go because she is not self conscious. And I would agree with that. You know, when you get in your 30s, you feel more comfortable in your own skin. You feel a great sense of yourself. You know yourself a little bit more. And, that's why these men say you hit the wall when you turn 30. Anyway. A lot of women feel pressured to live up to the ideal, or they feel that in the bedroom they have to put on a performance and all this craziness and based on porn and you know what's so crazy in this book she has a how to fake the orgasm. It is funny. I'm gonna just read it because it's funny, but okay. So you arch your back at 45 degrees, right? You recite a couple of bad lines, right? You say yes, yes, yes. Harder, harder, don't stop, right? And then you suck your finger. I don't know where that came from, right? You ask him whose it is and you tell him that it's his. I don't do that. Right? And then she says that you do Kegel exercises and you squeeze. And all this craziness is just to fake an orgasm. I'm not faking orgasms today. So the bitch, she says to be honest. Tell the guy that he's not pleasing you. And if it hurts his feelings, that's his business. All right. So do not fake an orgasm. Right? If a man makes you feel as though you are on stage competing in a pageant, don't sleep with him. If you feel like you got to do all these things and you got to do this and do that, don't sleep with him. It's not, he doesn't deserve you. It's not all that. All right. It's much more of a turn on to a man when a woman is able to be herself. She's honest about what she likes and dislikes. A man loves watching his women being pleased by him. It's an automatic turn on, and that's much more important than putting on an award winning performance. Okay, attraction principle number 21. A quality guy fantasizes about a woman who genuinely loves sex. Right? So half of pleasing him is getting off yourself and not faking it. Okay, ladies, don't fake it. Sometimes you just gotta tell him like you just not doing it. Like I don't know. Um, let's see. All right, a bitch can better please him because she's more concerned with pleasing herself. He knows without a question that she loves every minute of it, and this feeds his ego like nothing else. So basically, if you're really enjoying it, he's gonna be turned on by you, and he's gonna want it even more. And That's how it's supposed to be, right? I think that's normal. I think, yeah, that is normal. Right? The last thing you want to do is be too nice, right? And the mistake of being disingenuous, right? In other ways. For example, you sleep with him on a second date and you ask him how many lovers she's had. She gives him the oldest line in the book. I've had 3 lovers. A bitch will not go there. She won't sleep with a guy right away and then try to give him the almost virgin. She said that the bitch will be like she had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then she starts saying the first one did it really good. The second one gave good head. The third one knew how to kiss me. The fourth one massaged my back really well. The fifth one pulled my hair. And then afterwards, he don't want to hear no more. He will never ask her that question again. All right, so we know how to deal with that. If a man asks you how many people you slept with, I just gave you guys a good example. All right, attraction principle number 30. Anytime a woman competes with another woman, she demeans herself. So if the subject of a woman comes up, casually throws in one of your conversations, right? If any woman can steal a guy away from me, then she can have him because I wouldn't want him anymore. And then smile. Usually I say that, but that's how I truly feel though. If another woman can have a guy that I have slept with or I have been with, I'm gonna be honest. I really don't want him anymore. And even if she slept with him, I don't want him. It's almost like, like he had something or she had something that I experienced. Yeah, I wouldn't want him. I'd probably throw him away. But that's the truth though. I wouldn't want him anymore. And that's how you guys should be. So do not feel like you need to compete. If you don't trust him, stop seeing him. But until he gives you a reason not to trust him, behave as though you trust him. It'll make you look more secure with yourself, as if you are saying with your actions, well, of course you want to be with me. So I'm gonna just be honest. I know in life, we have these mean girls. We have women who are jealous of you, especially when you're with a cute guy or a handsome guy. There are jealous women out there, and a lot of them try to make you feel bad. They try to flirt with him or try to do things in front of the guy to make you feel some kind of way. And we as women, we just have to remember that, like we're the shit, and sometimes you do have to check those women. Yeah, I agree. I don't know. To me, I'm kind of mean. I'd be like, "Do you want to sleep with him?" That's the questions I be asking. I'd be like, "Do you want to sleep with him?" I ask those questions right up front. I'd be like, I just say it like, I see that you're really touching him like really closely. Like, is this something that you do normally? Uh, But I'm sarcastic as fuck though. I'm gonna say that and I'm gonna look at them while I say it too. All right, attraction principle number 31. When there is undeniable spark, there is only one key to the lock. Ding dong. So remember how I was talking about that? Remember how I was talking about not having sex and all these things and blah 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 blah. If you really like somebody and there's a spark, and you just feel the connection and it feels like it's somebody who you're supposed to be with and it's genuine and you just feel the love and you feel the appreciation and you're being adored, and you just know that that's your man, and you just know that you just have a feeling inside like that's mine, like and he knows that you're his. There's only one key to that lock. And there's only one woman for that man or one man for that woman. vice versa. And sometimes I feel like some rules don't apply in that situation because you can't deny love, especially true love or a true spark. You can't keep somebody who really love each other away from each other. Okay, so now this is the last bit. A quality guy wants to feel trusted because it makes him feel as though you believe in his character. Until he gives you a reason not to trust him. If he is falling in love with you, he won't tell you he wants to be with you exclusively. You'll automatically know. He'll be calling you every day and he will insist that you date only him because he won't want it. He won't want anyone else coming near his dream girl. And there you have it. We just went over chapter 3. Yeah, and I did an in-depth too. All right, so we did chapter 3, we did chapter 2, and we did chapter 1. Maybe next week I'll do chapter 4. Okay, you guys, so I'm gonna drop the link. If you guys want to come up, maybe you got some experience, maybe you have a story you want to tell where maybe you gave it up too soon, or maybe you experienced something, or maybe you dated a guy who really liked you and you can tell by the way he treated you that some of these rules did not apply. Or maybe these when you was dating, you was smart enough to read this book and you applied some of these same rules and some of these same scenarios. You applied it in your real life and it has worked for you. Either way, I just dropped the link. And if you guys can click the link and come up on here, I will greatly appreciate that. Okay, you guys, I just dropped the link. If you're in the chat and you want to click on the link and you want to come up and you want to share your story, maybe you're in a great relationship and it's beautiful, you guys can click the link. Dun, 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 dun. You guys can click the link and share some stories, some dating stories. This is a safe space, you know? This is a safe space. You can share your stories. Nobody's going to come for you on here. So you guys can click the link. Even if you're a man, you can click the link. But you got to come with something that's good for the conversation. I'm not going to allow you to try to twist it and. So, okay. If you're in the chat, you guys can click the link. This is Creative Solutions. Is anybody here? Dun 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 dun. Is anybody here? I'm gonna wait a little bit before I start queuing up the music. Is anybody here? Don't tell me I dropped the link and everybody run. Let me see. Do I have any stories? I think I told y'all some stories. Y'all want me to share another story? Let me see. What story can I share about this? What story can I share? I do. I have one love story, but I can't. I'll share it maybe at the end of this book. I'll share that story. Nobody wants to click the link. Come on, we in here. We're live. We are live. We are live today. You know what? Next, I think next week when I do chapter 4, I am going to be talking about. I'm gonna do a little bit of psychology. You know, this is if you want relationships, and we're gonna talk about next week in my prelude, right? Prelude. I'm just gonna be sharing like a whole bunch of positive relationships so that we can see and we can believe and we know that it's possible. And so that when we look at our reality, that's all that we see is beautiful relationships around us, and it will be something that is normalized, something that's familiar that we're used to. Nobody wants to click the link, click the link, click the link. Nobody wants to click the link. Okay. Nobody wants to click the link. Nobody wants to click the link. Okay, so that means we're about to head up out of here. Okay, you guys, thank you for tuning in to Why Men Love Bitches. And this was chapter 3. And next week, we're going to do chapter 4. And chapter 4 is going to be talking about Dumb Like a Fox, how to convince him he's in control while you run the show. I like that one. I really like it. So chapter 4 is going to be really good. I'm super interested in that one. So I guess nobody wants to hop up here. It's all good. You know, I dropped the link. Maybe everybody's sleeping. It is pretty late. I'm gonna try to do this early. All right. Yeah. So thank you guys for tuning in to my channel. This is Creative Solutions. And on this channel, I am reviewing Why Men Love Bitches. And then I have another book I will be reviewing. But so far, let's start off at Why Men Love Bitches, and let me finish this. It's 11 chapters. We're 3 in. And next week, we got number 4. So thank you guys for tuning in. You know I love all you guys. Please subscribe, like, and yeah, share my videos. Pass it on to all young women. And yeah, that's all I have to say. We are gonna cruise on out of here. So hope you guys have a good night, and thank you. This is Creative Solutions, and let's jam out.